pastoral dialogue by Jonathan Swift. Written June 1727, just after the news of the death of George I, who died the 12th of that month in Germany 1. This poem was written when George Roman II succeeded his father, and bore the following explanatory introduction. Richmond Lodge is a house with a small park belonging to the Crown. It was usually granted by the Crown for a lease of years. The Duke of Ormond was the last who had it. After his exile, it was given to the Prince of Wales by the King. The Prince and Princess usually passed their summer there. It is within a mile of Richmond. Marble Hill is a house built by Mrs. Howard, then of the Bedchamber, now Countess of Suffolk and groom of the stole to the Queen. It is on the Middlesex side, near Twickenham, where Pope lives, and about 2 miles from Richmond Lodge. Pope was the contriver of the gardens, Lord Herbert the architect, the Dean of St. Patrick's chief butler, and keeper of the ice house. Upon King George's death, these two houses met and had the above dialogue. Dublin edition, 1734. In spite of Pope, in spite of Gay, and all that he or they can say, sing on I must, and sing I will, of Richmond Lodge and Marble Hill. Last Friday night, as neighbors use, this couple met to talk of news. For by old proverbs it appears that walls have tongues and hedges ears. Marble Hill. Quoth Marble Hill, right well I ween, your mistress now is grown a queen. You'll find it soon by woeful proof, she'll come no more beneath your roof. Richmond Lodge. The kingly prophet well evinces that we should put no trust in princes. My royal master promised me to raise me to a high degree, but now he's grown a king, God wot, I fear I shall be soon forgot. You see, when folks have got their ends, how quickly they neglect their friends. Yet I may say, twixt me and you, pray God, they now may find as true. Marble Hill. My house was built but for show, my lady's empty pockets know. And now she will not have a shilling to raise the stairs or build the ceiling. For all the courtly madams round now pay 4 shillings in the pound. Tease come to what I always thought, my dame is hardly worth a groat too. Had you and I been courtiers born, we should not thus have lain forlorn. For those we dexterous courtiers call, can rise upon their masters fall. But we, unlucky and unwise, must fall because our masters rise. Richmond Lodge. My master, scarce a fortnight since, was grown as wealthy as a prince. But now it will be no such thing, for he'll be poor as any king, and by his crown will nothing get but like a king to run in debt. Marble Hill. No more the dean, that grave divine, shall keep the key of my wine, my ice house rob, as heretofore, and steal my artichokes no more. Poor Paddy Blount 3 no more be seen bedraggled in my walks so green. Plump Johnny Gay will now elope, and here no more will dangle Pope. Richmond Lodge. Here want the dean, when he's to seek, to sponge a breakfast once a week, to cry the bread was stale, and mutter complaints against the royal butter. But now I fear it will be said, no butter sticks upon his bread. We soon shall find him full of spleen, for want of tattling to the queen, stunning her royal ears with talking, his reverence and her highness walking, while Lady Charlotte 5 like a stroller, sits mounted on the garden roller. A goodly sight to see her ride, with ancient Mermont 6 at her side. In velvet cap his head lies warm, his hat, for show, beneath his arm. Marble Hill. Some South Sea broker from the city will purchase me, the more's the pity, lay all my fine plantations waste, to fit them to his vulgar taste. Changed for the worse in every part, my master Pope will break his heart. Richmond Lodge. In my own Thames may I be drowned, if e'er I stoop beneath a crowned head, except her majesty prevails to place me with the Prince of Wales, and then I shall be free from fears, for he'll be prince these 50 years. I then will turn a courtier too, and serve the times as others do. Plain loyalty, not built on hope, I leave to your contriver, Pope. None loves his king and country better, yet none was ever less their debtor. Marble Hill. Then let him come and take a nap in summer on my verdant lap. Prefer our villas, where the Thames is, to Kensington or hot St. James's. Nor shall I dull in silence sit, for 'tis to me he owes his wit. My groves, my echoes, and my birds have taught him his poetic words. We gardens, and you wildernesses, assist all poets in distresses. Him twice a week I here expect, to rattle moody 7 for neglect, an idle rogue, who spends his quarterage in tippling at the dog and partridge, and I can hardly get him down 3 times a week to brush my gown. Richmond Lodge. I pity you, dear Marble Hill, but hope to see you flourish still. All happiness and so adieu. Marble Hill. Kind Richmond Lodge, the same to you. Footnote 2. Swift was probably not aware how nearly he described the narrowed situation of Mrs. Howard's finances. Lord Orford, in a letter to Lord Strafford, 29 July, 1767, written shortly after her death, described her affairs as so far from being easy that the utmost economy could by no means prevent her exceeding her income considerably, and states in his reminiscences that, besides Marble Hill, which cost the king 10 or 12,000 pounds, she did not leave above 20,000 pounds to her family. See Lord Orford's Works, Vol. Roman 4 p. 304 v. p. 456, W.E.B. Footnote 7. The Gardener.